Welcome back, everybody. We are still here with best-selling author Steve Harvey.
Well, what I try to get women to understand is that times have changed, but your playbook hasn't. I've gotten thousands of letters from all kinds of women who can't seem to find a man, keep a man, or get what they want from their man.
Why women are not the prize. Act like a lady, think like a man. Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. It's good to be back. We had to do some reorganizing and we're almost set up. So let's get back to what we love to do right here at Manosphere Highlights Daily. And that is break down videos from a red pill perspective, and hopefully you can take something away from it. The movie, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, came out in 2012, based on the best-selling book, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man by Steve Harvey. This movie here proves why men are the prize, and we're about to break it down MHD style. Shout out to the Patreon supporters, salute!
The original video is gonna be on Patreon because we have to respect the YouTube guidelines. That's why you will get a censored and filtered YouTube-friendly version. So if you like what we do and you want to experience our content to the fullest extent, support us on Patreon. This video contains a lot of spoilers, so you've been warned. Now it's time for us to dive into this and do what we have to do. Because we men, we? Yeah. We men, we? Yeah.
This is a man's world. This is how the movie starts. James Brown's classic song says it all. This is a man's world. Rest in peace, Godfather of Soul. Thank you for inspiring many of us. When you listen to the lyrics of this song, James Brown basically explains that men are responsible for almost everything that's going on in this world. Let's read. You see, men make the cars to take us over the road. Men made the train to carry the heavy load. Men made electric light to take us out of the dark. Men made the boat for the water, like Noah made the ark. This is a man's world, because women don't do all of this, but they have no problems benefiting from all of it. That's why she's not the prize. That's why she's not our first priority. She's most likely your fifth priority. Now this song has an underlying message, a moral. Listen to this.
Without a woman or a girl.
But it wouldn't mean nothing without a woman or a girl. This song came out in 1966. You have to understand, the Godfather of Soul was not talking about the modern times and the modern women we have today. A time where men being a bus driver is not good enough for these women. A time where women lead with their WAP, have so much paint on their faces to make the Joker say, damn! The majority is overweight and have a body count higher than the Mount Everest itself. The Godfather of Soul was talking about wives, homemakers, women that were raised to be supportive, submissive, and had no problem catering to their men. When you say the word submissive these days, women think about the Color Purple movie. Even catering to your man is a crime these days. The foolishness. No. Women are not the prize, because at this point, the majority of women are nothing more than liabilities.
And the most significant moment of all, marriage. That's right, I said it. In fact, marriage used to be the ultimate goal of boys and men. Because in the old days, it was the only way a guy could get what he really wanted from a girl.
This whole marriage thing is romanticized. Marrying for love and finding the one, that's not how it worked when you read your history. Two things. Number one, look, he's on his knees proposing. I'll come back to this later to point out why women are not the prize even though men are proposing. Number two, in order to have sex with a woman, you needed to marry her back in the day. And because the majority of people were getting married, this brought balance to the force and divorce rates. Marriage always benefited women more than men. The man had to protect, provide for his wife and children, his family, and he wasn't considered a man if he wasn't married, if he couldn't provide for his family. Men were working themselves to death to please others, and they were expected to sacrifice themselves when shit hits the fan. Take a look at this clip from Titanic survivor Eva Hart.
But your father did not get in the lifeboat. Why was that?
Why? Well, you know the rule of the sea, don't you? Women and children first. No man is going to take the place of a woman or child.
And by the time the women and children were in that lifeboat, it was full.
Absolutely.
Did you hear that? Again.
Why?
Why? This question surprises her because there's no question who's gonna sacrifice themselves when shit hits the fan. Back then, women respected their men. They knew the value of men. They knew that men are the prize. It was women and children first, not because they were the prize. It was because they were the weak. And that's the responsibility of the strong. It's to protect the weak. In modern day society, women want to be men without the responsibilities that comes with being a man. They are strong and independent and don't need a man. But when shit hits the fan, they are the first ones to run their mouths screaming, "Where are the men? Where are the men?" The foolishness.
See now today, things have changed, people. I mean, men, we don't have to work as hard to get what we want. We got the internet, for God's sake. I can build whatever I want on the internet. Today, men have the home court advantage.
Exactly, fellas. We have home court advantage. Women have dropped the ball, smoking that woman and Sex and the City toxic masculinity crack pipe. We do not, and I repeat, we do not have to sacrifice ourselves for these women anymore. I want you to build for yourself. I want you to provide for yourself. I want you to sacrifice for yourself. And I want you to protect yourself at all times. We've been doing it for others and for women in particular, and they take it for granted. And to take it a step further, they mock us, disrespect us, portray us as incompetent buffoons, and the list goes on and on. She is not the prize. Now check this out. We're still in the opening sequence of this movie that's made for women. Still, it's men that carry this whole movie. A male intro song, a male narrator, a buffoon of course, a group of male friends that are the light of this whole movie, and of course, they are portrayed as buffoons to cater to the female audience. Why do you think they do this?
Why?
Because men are the prize. This movie is about women getting with us, the real prize. Now let me show you why everything stands and falls with us.
Well, how about dinner? Yeah.
I don't know, Sonia. I feel like I have
Whatever she's having. My name is Zeke.
Maya.
Nice to meet you, Maya.
You changed your mind?
You think I could take you to dinner sometime?
How's tomorrow night?
All of these guys are approaching these women, ready to make a fool out of themselves to get her attention. When we stop approaching women, there's no movie. This book that Steve Harvey wrote wouldn't be the same and wouldn't be a bestseller because this book here caters to women. You see all of these videos of women complaining about men not approaching them pop up on social media. Why?
Why?
Because nothing happens when men don't take action. Women are so strong and independent, but it would be a cold day in hell for women in general to approach men by default. How are you the prize if you can't make anything happen? And to take it a step further, how are you the prize if you're not even willing to make things happen? She is not the prize.
Until you understand how a man loves, how a man operates, how he thinks, until you get into the mindset of a man, you will never win with us in the game of love.
Here at Manosphere Highlights Daily, we're going to keep it red pill. What Steve Harvey says right here is correct. If these women want to be successful with us, they will have to cater to our needs. If they don't bring value to our lives, there's no use for them. However, now I'm going to show you why we don't support Steve Harvey's message in the manosphere and why Oprah Winfrey endorsed this book.
All right, we have a question in the audience.
Hi, Steve. I've been living with my boyfriend for 5 years, and he says that he loves me and he's fully committed. I guess what I want to know is how come he hasn't popped the question?
He hasn't popped the question because you haven't required him to.
What he's saying makes sense, right? You haven't required him to pop the question. What would happen if Steve Harvey would have said, "Why don't you pop the question? You want to get married, right? Why don't you go on your knees and propose to him?" Women are equal these days, so there's nothing wrong with asking your man to marry you. That would have been the end of Steve Harvey's career if he said that on the Oprah Winfrey Show. And that takes me back to this point right here. This man is on his knees proposing. The fact that this woman is asking Steve Harvey, why doesn't my boyfriend pop the question, proves that men are the prize. Because in order for her to feel special and to get married, she needs him to pop the question. She needs him to approach her. She needs him to provide this romantic experience while her boyfriend is probably already satisfied with what he has. This is why women are unhappy, because they are going against their nature. Female anatomy is different. Men and women are not built the same. We need different things to function properly. Male attention, especially special male attention, is essential to women. Why do you think these women infiltrate these male spaces? Because we are the prize. Let me give you another example why Oprah Winfrey endorsed this book.
We have another question in the audience, Steve.
Steve, I keep hooking up with guys who don't want a relationship.
Why don't you stop hooking up?
Did you hear that?
Listen, men respect women who have standards. Just get some.
Oh, exactly.
Makes sense, right? Stop hooking up. Get some standards. This politically correct bullshit is creating these born-again virgins. Why is she hooking up in the first place? How come you don't have standards and need to get some? Shouldn't this be a part of your default settings? Oprah Winfrey endorsed this book because it quote-unquote empowers women. It feeds into this strong and independent woman's foolishness, not holding them accountable for their actions. Just give them a playbook, just like the books in college. And now that you've graduated, you think you're smart. You think you're intelligent. You feel that you are a high-value woman now and deserve to have it all. This book tells me to just press a couple buttons so I can control the man I want and get him to do what I want him to do for me. Like always, it's all about you. That's why it's essential for these guys in this movie to be a bunch of buffoons so women can feel empowered, in control.
No, Sonia, I just felt like a different woman. I felt so in control and strong.
Like I've said before, everything stands and falls with us. The moment you start dropping these red pill truth bombs, letting these females know that men are the prize, the mainstream media is not gonna endorse your book. And to take it a step further, every time Oprah endorses something, your system should immediately raise a red flag. We are the prize, fellas. Because we men, ain't we? We men, ain't we? Get yourself a We Men Ain't We t-shirt and show the world that you are proud to be a man. Shit. Manosphere, we working. This video has officially been highlighted.